Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 23 of the Cruiser Clash Tournament. In this episode, we have Task Force Danalite by Breakthrough facing off against the Phoenix Point Defense Fleet by Cold J. All of the craft in this tournament have had overview videos done that go into more details about their weapons and armor and such. If you'd like to learn more about them, the playlist to those will be linked in the description. For right now, though, we're going to get right into the battle of these two teams here. Both dual entries. The Phoenix Point Defense Fleet was requested to be a broadside opposing spawn, but against Task Force Danalite, it doesn't matter as both ships, or as it has two ships that spawn facing both directions. So it literally makes no difference. The missile strike from the Flotilla of Pain and the Phoenix seem to be able to get in some damage here. It doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, but it did connect. Oh, and those cramshells are going in on the oh, yeah. And the Flotilla of Pain took a big hit there, 72%. It won't be able to withstand that many more of those. And then it'll be just the Phoenix trying to take on the Danalite and the Danabrite. Oh, is that going to connect, or is that... Oh, nope, the water slowed it down too much, and it detonated too far out. Now they're trying to fire on the Phoenix with those crams, which are going to be very difficult, if not straight up impossible, for those slow cram cannon shells to hit a craft that fast and that turns that much. Oh, but they've turned their attention back to the Flotilla of Pain. Let's see how these volleys hit. So it looks like one of them actually went after the spawn stick. No, looks like the Flotilla of Pain is surviving for now. But that much damage, not sure how well it's going to be able to hold on. Got one of the craft here. There's like those anti-missile cannons are doing a really good job of keeping the Danalite and the Danabrite safe from the Phoenix's missile strikes. They weren't able to stop the Flotilla of Pains, just because there's so many of those in that volley. But they're doing a good job of mitigating the damage from the Phoenix's strikes. I'm wondering if the Flotilla of Pain is going to be able to repair itself and get off more missile volleys, because that can be a very big game changer. If the Flotilla of Pain goes down, the Phoenix is going to have to do some serious damage to the Danalite and Danabrite to catch up. Simply because I believe the Flotilla of Pain is 40% of the Phoenix Point Defense Fleet's HP. Oh, looks like the guns here on the, which one is this? This is the Danalite. Have been taken out. Oh, it's down to 77%. It has taken some hits. Must be, oh yeah, it's almost all below the waterline. Ah, torpedoes. Torpedo strikes are doing work. It looks like the Phoenix, the Flotilla of Pain has been taken out, though. It took Task Force Danalite quite a while to pull that off, though. And it maybe took too long. Though, honestly, those cram cannons are best served firing at the Flotilla, as they are very unlikely to hit the Phoenix. Yeah, see, it jinks and jives, and it does too much turning, and it's too fast, and fights too far away for Task Force Danalite's cram cannons to really have a chance of landing. Oh, the anti-missile... I think the anti-missile cannons on Task Force Danalite are down. So they are now just sitting ducks for the Phoenix's missile strikes. This is a fairly close battle overall, but given that the Phoenix is still 100% and has been effective the entire fight, it is looking like it is going to end up winning, but you never know. Oh, the Danalite is gone, and that's 50% of its team's hit points. So yes, at this point, Task Force Danalite, if the Danabrite was at 100%, would only be at 50%, and the Phoenix Point Defense Fleet would be at 60, I believe. So basically Task Force Danalite needs to go for a knockout punch to win here. And, oh, this seems to have taken gauge damage, so it's a little cram cannon. Well, I mean, that higher rate of fire and may help it out, but can't really see the shells. Can't tell if they're actually doing anything. It doesn't look like it. Seen this happen quite a bit with Task Force Danalite, where they take a little bit of damage and then they just stop moving. And their weapons go offline, even though, I mean, it's only at 83%, but it's basically disabled. It's just a matter of time before the Phoenix finishes it off. Missiles are going in, ripping in holes. I mean, the engines are... Oh, it's actually taking a lot of damage to its engine. That could be why it has stopped moving. Those torpedoes... I believe a lot of the damage came from the torpedoes on the Phoenix. 'Cause these are the exact kind of craft that torpedoes are good at killing. They're big, slow, heavy ships. We're down to just under 4 minutes left in regulation, but I don't think it's going to go the distance. It's just a matter of time before the Danalite goes out. And there's it's just a chair bouncing in the water. I don't know why, but I find that amusing. This missile strike may very well be it. Yeah, well, it didn't even take the missile strike. It is now AI dead. And will be despawning any moment now. And there we have it. That is round 1 to the Phoenix Point Defense Fleet. Get the designer here reset. Reset the clock. Get both entries spawned back in. We will get round 2 underway. Whoops. Helps if I remember to pause it. And I remember not to hit that button. Pause. Okay. Let's get a little lower. That was also a little bit of a high spawn for Task Force Danalite. And, well, they're just tall ships. Okay. Get back up to... That's good enough. It doesn't need to be completely, totally perfect. A few meters is not going to make a difference. Alright. Yeah, they're spawned pretty much broadside, so let's get this round 2 underway. See if results are any different this time. The Flotilla of Pain's missile strike is still just... If it can manage to get all of those missiles on target, they hurt. But the Task Force Danalite has pretty good anti-missile cannons, and coming in on the side like that, a lot of those fragments are just going to bounce off, even if they do hit. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of damage done there. Right, yep, the Danalite is at 97%, the Danalite is 100%, Phoenix 100%, Flotilla of Pain 100%, but the Flotilla of Pain also has 4 rather heavy cram shells coming for it now. And it has flopped over and... Ooh, that was a good hit. Looks like more good hits. Ooh. How did it take that? Ooh, 59%, 58, 55, 50, ooh, that's it. The Flotilla of Pain is going to despawn, allowing Task Force Danalite to focus its attentions on the Phoenix much earlier than they were able to last battle. I'm not sure it's going to make much of a difference, though, because those crams are really the only thing that Task Force Danalite was using on the Flotilla of Pain last match, and I don't think they're going to be effective at all against the Phoenix. I don't think these missiles are either. They simply are not fast enough. Plus, they are getting distracted by flares. And the anti-missile cannons are trying to shoot them down. Which I always find amusing. When the Sea-Wiz weaponry try to take out flares. They're launching the missiles. Everything is looking fine so far, but I'm betting those torpedoes are, yep, they're torpedoes coming in and doing some damage. Ooh, big explosion here on the, this is the Danalite. But it seems for the moment to be okay. Maybe not, its guns seem to be offline. It is still sailing, but its main guns are offline. It's almost a shame that these anti-missile cannons aren't dual purpose. Whenever they're not having to deal with missiles, they could be dealing with the Phoenix itself. Doing some. Oh, looks like the Phoenix took a hit there. Did one of the cram shells actually manage to land? That's impressive. That is not easy to do. Oh, and now it has slowed down. It seems to have lost some of its propulsion. That makes it an easier target for further cram shots. It seems. Oh, it seems to be struggling a little. It's trying to get back up to speed. Yeah, it looks like it's getting it. The Phoenix is back at 100%. The Phoenix has very impressive repair capabilities. You have to do a lot of DPS in order to actually make any damage stick, or else it will repair through it. Oh, those anti-missile cannons may actually, are they dual purpose, or they're shooting at flares? They're shooting at flares, and those flares just happen to be really close to the craft. So yeah, those crams. It looked like one may have landed earlier, but it's just, you're gonna have to land more than one of those shells to do crippling damage to the Phoenix. And I don't think that's gonna happen. You might get a lucky shot every now and then, but for the most part, the Phoenix just turns and changes its vector too much for crams to get a beat on it. But the anti-missile cannons, now that they're staying alive and they're keeping the missiles from the Phoenix from doing as much damage as they did before. So at 99 and 90%, if Task Force Danalite can hold on and repair and keep itself from taking too much damage, oosh, ouch, that did not look pretty. But if they can keep their HP up, then they could have a chance of winning this if the battle goes the distance. Oof, that was really close. Those were some really close cram shots. But it wasn't quite there. We have 4 minutes 25 seconds left on the clock. And as of right now, Task Force Danalite has the hit points to win, I believe. I will have to double check my notes and make sure. But if the Phoenix doesn't get some more DPS in, the round 2 is going to end up going to Task Force Danalite at this rate. But it looks like the which craft is this? This is the Danalite. It seems like only its anti-missile cannons are active. And even then, they don't seem to be firing. But they are aiming. They just aren't firing. That's the. Oh, it looks like the Danalite has been AI dead. Yes, indeed. It is AI dead and despawning. Putting Task Force Danalite at 50% hit points maximum. If the Phoenix can get some more DPS in, it will pretty much guarantee its win. But it seems like the only thing that's really getting through to hit Task Force Danalite are the torpedoes. Everything else seems to be ineffective. The cannon shots are getting deflected by the shields. The missiles are getting shot down by the Sea-Wiz. Seems like only the torpedoes are managing to land. As torpedoes are, like, against slower, bigger craft like this, torpedoes are extremely effective. Because they, there are no active defenses against them. Like, there's no flares or anti-missile cannons. None of that stuff works. That works on normal missiles works on torpedoes. All you can really do is be faster. If you're faster than the torpedo, then they likely won't be able to catch and hit you, but... Phoenix has managed to get some damage in, and that's all it really needs. Because if the flotilla is 40% like I remember, that means if both of these craft were at 100%, then the Phoenix Point Defense Fleet would be at 60, and the Task Force Danalite would be at 50, which it would end up being a draw. But any sort of damage... Ooh, the Phoenix took a hit. Another lucky cram shot, it looks like. But it does not seem like it was enough to actually shoot down the Phoenix or disable it. So it is going to continue flying, going to not get hit by any further shots, and repair itself back up before anything can be done about it. Yeah, Task Force Danalite, in order to win this, will have to get a really lucky shot in and basically knock the Phoenix out of the air, and then pound it away. But seeing as how there's only 30 seconds left in this round, it does not look like that's going to happen. Yeah, the Danalite is all the way down to 83%. And we're just about out of time. There it is. Alright, let me check the notes here. Oh, that's not... There we go. Phoenix Point Defense Fleet Flotilla of Pain is 40.6%. So the Phoenix is 59.4%. The Task Force Danalite are 50% each. So since one was despawned, the whole craft is at 50, or the whole team is at 50%. But then the other craft is down 18%. 50 times 0.82 is 41%, which is a difference of 18%, which is enough to give a clear victory to the Phoenix Point Defense Fleet. They will claim the Phoenix Point Defense Fleet claims the win in round 2 and will be earning 6 points for this battle, while Task Force Danalite will be earning 2. It was a pretty interesting battle. Wasn't sure exactly how it was going to turn out. The first one was much more decisive than the second one, but they were both interesting to watch. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will see you out on the battlefield.